I'm going to discuss in this video Trump and NATO. 1 month before Donald clinched the 2016 Republican nomination for president, on June 15, 2016 to be precise, the former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy was caught on tape making the statement that there are two people that he believed Putin pays. One was a former congressman in California, a Republican who was a fervent defender of Russia and Putin, and the other a person that he identified was Trump. Some of the Republicans laughed, and McCarthy added quickly, quote, "swear to God," end quote. Paul Ryan was present and told the other Republicans to keep quiet about that accusation. Now, I'm not aware of any proof that Donald is on Putin's payroll. But Donald has repeatedly praised Putin, even going so far as expressing his admiration for this dictator for life. Trump's statements about NATO and Ukraine are consistent with what Putin would want the U.S. to do. The tying of additional aid to Ukraine to a change in immigration policies and Trump's willingness to torpedo a Senate bipartisan deal on immigration is music to Putin's ears. If Trump is successful in ending U.S. aid to Ukraine in 2024, which I believe is his objective, his party will be responsible when and if Russia is successful in absorbing all or significant parts of Ukraine into the Russian Federation as the Ukrainians run out of ammunition sufficient to resist the Russian invasion. That result is far more likely if Trump achieves his objective and denying further aid to Ukraine. Trump has made several statements in the past that he viewed NATO as obsolete, which Russia welcomed soon after he made that statement. European leaders have recently publicly stated that Trump told them that he wanted to withdraw the U.S. from NATO. Over the weekend in Nevada, he attempted to undermine support for NATO by declaring that NATO members would not defend the U.S. under Article 5 after an attack, and the U.S. does not get much out of NATO. I would add here that several NATO members participated in Afghanistan, including boots on the ground after 9/11. Similar Republican policies were music to Hitler's ears, another totalitarian regime that was bent on a relentless imperialistic conquest. Most Republicans voted against the Lend-Lease Act of 1941 that provided assistance to England, who was then the last major country resisting Hitler in Europe. 24 Republicans in the House voted in favor of that bill, and 135 against, and only 10 Republican senators voted for that Lend-Lease bill. The Republicans were in favor of appeasing Hitler then and hoping one day that he would stop his conquest and behave himself. Russia's imperialistic ambitions have been made clear by the entirety of Russian history prior to the 1922 invasion of Ukraine. Nothing could be more clear. And statements made by Putin and Dmitry Medvedev, Russia's former president and prime minister, have clearly set out Russia's goals for anyone to see. Anne Applebaum summarized some of those statements in a recently published column in the Atlantic magazine titled, quote, "Is Congress really going to abandon Ukraine now?" There are certainly a number of Republicans willing to do so, have been successful recently in preventing further aid to Ukraine. But I wanted to emphasize some of the statements made by Dmitry that Anne Applebaum summarizes in her article. He said that the Baltic states belong to Russia. That would be Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia, that Poland was temporarily occupied. He threatened Sweden and Finland with nuclear weapons if they joined NATO, and other countries as well, for providing aid to Ukraine. In many ways, the history prior to World War II is repeating itself. Just substitute Russia for Nazi Germany as the aggressor.